Good morning, my friends. Today is Monday, November 6th, 2023. I'm Lindsay Duff, and this is Responsible Day Trading. So, we've had kind of a wild ride over the last week. I honestly did not expect it to pull back the way it has, but it's done it. And it's looking pretty amazing. So what we're going to do is spend a little time going over that. Guys, before we go into that, I do want to talk a little bit about what we've got going on here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we have coming up first. So we are doing some local events here in Houston that we want just local traders to show up to if you can. One thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to have a Houston day trader meet and greet. We're doing two of them. We're doing a coffee with day traders and we're doing drinks with day traders. So if coffee's not your thing, then come to the drinks. If drinks aren't your thing, come to coffee. So the first one that we're going to have is Thursday, November 16th. That's going to be just Houston day traders. The other one that we're going to have is going to take place in the Sugarland area. That's going to be Saturday, December 2nd, and that's going to be from 7 to 9. So if you can join either of those, we'd love to have you there. Also, been working our tails off. Our new scholarship students are in our new curriculum. They're giving us a little bit of feedback. We're also releasing the Spanish curriculum. We are releasing it in sections. So the first section is already open, ready to go. Most of section 2 is ready to go. And so we do have people going through that in the Spanish section and in the English section. Now, our scholarship students are kind of giving us some insight to, do we have some spelling mistakes? Do we need to fix a few things in that manner? And that's been very helpful. So, just to have extra sets of eyes on it before we release it to everyone. But guys, if you're interested in checking out the new curriculum, hit us up, let us know. Also, if I haven't told you guys, we've already finished our third guide. I don't have it printed out right now, but we do have 3 guides going on. And guys, these are very extensive. They've got a lot of great information over, what is risk versus reward, what is, strategic goals, things like that. So you can understand more about what we do here and understand just a little bit more about trading if you need to. So this first guide actually has a lot of the what is day trading? What are E-minis? What are futures? What are the difference between futures and stocks? So if you haven't already, signed up for the beginner guide, even if you're not a beginner, the third guide is got a lot of great information in it too. So just, take some time, look it through. It's free. You can download it online with no problem. And, if you need to know how to get there, just go to responsibledaytrading.com and you'll be able to see a space to sign up for the beginner guide right there. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get started on this market because it is a little exciting. First thing I want to do, what we always do, is we're going to talk about the news. So let me bring that up before we move over there. And here we go. So let's go ahead and go over to news. We're here at responsibledaytrading.com. We're going to go to news and we're going to go to market news. Oh, there's like nothing this week. So nothing for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We do have Powell speaking 15 minutes before the market opens. It tends to move things. So just being aware and paying attention to that. And then an hour after the market opens, crude oil inventories. And then it looks like Thursday, we have Powell speaking again at 1:00 and we have the pre-market an hour before. So there's not a lot of news. Guys, we are coming into the holiday season, so things may move just a little bit slower. But man, what I want to talk about is what's happening right in here. Mind-blowing for me, honestly. Now, something that I was paying attention to and saying, okay, well, we are anticipating a pullback is the fact that we had just this. Now, this is not divergence. The MACDs are leading lower than the previous pivot. The price is leading lower than the previous pivot. They both say more down. But the MACDs were really struggling to get much further past below this pivot point, and the price pushed down there pretty quickly, or pretty intensely below it. So that typically tells us that we're going to get a push back into the area of the EMAs, which we've seen happen. Now, we've crossed this top Bollinger Band and we have a second BB looking like it's pulling away with a lot of strength. The market doesn't even open for another 11 minutes. So, this BB could change in the blink of an eye. We have pulled back into the area to anticipate a bounce down, and we're leading lower than that previous pivot. So it may come back down. Now, when we're crossing this top Bollinger Band, I tend to like to wait to see what the second BB does when we cross it. Is that second BB going to continue with the strength, or is that second BB going to pull in just a little bit tighter and bounce back down? Really waiting for this second BB to kind of let us really know what the deal is helps out quite a bit, because we don't want to cross that line and then have it pull back in very, very quickly after, just assuming that it's going to go up higher. Now, I'm actually I love the way that this just pulled back to this area. It did go obviously a little bit lower than, and by a little bit, that's like 100 points lower than where this area was. But we can see that's just kind of a guideline as to where major pivots hit. We do see that it went above and below this area several times before. It's more or less this pullback into the area here that helped me determine that's a bit of a stronger area. So my personal belief and, my personal beliefs and what the market's actually going to do are two totally different things. But that we're at least going to see a pullback, maybe back down into this area again. If the MACD stays strong outside of the Bollinger Bands and push up, I'm really going to expect it to just give a weak pullback, maybe a sort of head and shoulders, and then push back up. Right now, it's really attempting to get back above those EMAs. The direction is not back to the upside yet. In order to shift that direction back to the upside, we need to get back above both EMAs, pull away from the EMAs, and get back above the zero line. None of that's there yet. The direction is still technically down. It is definitely making an attempt to move back to the upside. So we're just going to have to watch and wait. But that does not mean that we don't have opportunities to the upside. That just means that the overall momentum has not shifted to the upside yet. So looking at the 28,657, our next largest chart, we had these double white peaks at the top here, and that told us to anticipate a pullback. We got a pullback here. I mean, it's not a huge one, and we have divergences that we're printing as it's pulling up here. Now, very, very weak MACDs to the downside as this is still pushing up with some strength. What we'll probably see is a very weak pullback and push in with the blue BBs. I wouldn't mind seeing this come all the way back down to the EMAs, back down to this area, give us kind of area to work with both the MACDs and the price pulling back into these EMAs. It would actually be pretty helpful to see that happen and give us some, just a nice solid area to take a long trade from there. But let's go ahead and check out the trading charts. Now, something I want to say really quickly is that we are probably going to notice a lot more of a slowdown in price movement here and until the end of the year. That is because we are coming into a big holiday season. A lot of traders get out of their trades towards the end of the year. Those have been holding on for a long time. And also people go and spend time with their families. Things may start to move a lot slower between now and the end of the year. I mean, you can see this is when the market opened yesterday, and I was actually had my computer open and was looking at it last night right in here. It's like, man, it almost teased me into wanting to take a short right into this area. But if we couldn't cross that bottom Bollinger Band, I didn't want anything to do with it. And we couldn't hear. And by this time, it was like an hour and a half into it. And I'm like, why am I even watching this? This is moving so slow. So I closed it out and just enjoyed the rest of my evening. Now we can see we pulled up. We made a lower pivot in both the price and the MACDs. We're struggling to get much higher than this area. This is the area for the long if we were going to take it off of these small EMAs here. And just looking at my 10,946, earlier I said that I really wanted it to come back all the way down to this EMA, which is the small EMA on the 28,657. But if we really look at the history of what's happening, it has not been making it all the way down there since here. So we have pulled in towards the small EMA, but not towards the large. So is this going to be the area that causes the bounce to the upside? It's going to have to do some work to do that. And, the market opens in about another 5 minutes. Heck, maybe it's going to do the work. But for now, we have an area of resistance. We're leading lower in both the price and the MACDs. I would wait for it to prove itself to me. And that's what I'm doing every day. I'm waiting for the market to prove itself before I make the decision if I'm going to go ahead and try and become a part of that trade, or if I'm just going to let it, do its thing for a while. And some days I have to let it do its thing for a long while, and I may miss the trade when it sets up if I'm not paying attention. I did do some trading on Friday, actually, and I'm going to have the video out. It's been a very busy, hectic weekend. I'll put the video out probably later on this week, but here we go. I started off with a loss because I got in a little bit early and it just took me out really quickly. I took the next long and I could have taken this up a little bit later, but by this time I had a lot of other work to do and couldn't be a part of it anymore. So we're going to be looking at that just a little bit later. And so looking at this, even on the 233, these bars are long and erratic, and it's been a bit of a struggle throughout the night to even have this move much. So I'd want to see something with conviction, right? Because there's a ton of what looks like reversal bars, but it's not continuing in that direction. So it'd be a little tough to feel a lot of confidence in this long potential right here. The 233 says it's a long potential. The 1597 gives a little bit of long potential. 10946 is trying, but it's really struggling. So I would definitely wait a few minutes for the market to open up and get moving, and maybe even give it a couple minutes after that to see how you feel about the moves that it's showing to you. Yeah, we didn't even cross that top Bollinger band here, and it's already starting to pull back. So I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole right now. All right, my friends, that is going to wrap it up. I am having a hard time just even having my lights stay up right now. So it's time to go then. I have some guests coming in today. We have a lot of fun things planned for this next week or so. And I can't wait to see everybody at that meet and greet. If you got questions over anything, guys, please reach out to us. Let us know. We'll be happy to help you out. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this puppy up. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week. And as always, you know that I look forward to catching you on the profitable side.